What's funny comedy?
Yo, you not in our lane, so quit acting like we rockin' the same. What's funny comedy podcast? Are you not entertained? It's time to man up. My live people, put your hands up. From improvisations to stand up, we band up. These haters overheated. We going undefeated. Sit downs and live interviews. It's what the culture needed. A new monopoly for black comedy.
Hey, come on in, Laughaholics, comedy lovers. Take a seat. You're in the right place. It's your girl, Mindy B. And if it's Mindy B, you know it's the What's Funny Today show. And if it's the What's Funny Today show, you know recovering laughs, urban comedy, stand-up, on stage, chaos film, building rooms, you name it, we cover it. Now, your only job is to like, follow, and subscribe. Simple mathematics. That's all you got to do is stay tapped in with us. We're going to go ahead and get this show started. Last guest of the season, and I'm just here for the gas, man. So,
yeah.
KB, we always start our show with this gentleman. We wouldn't be sitting here without this gentleman. Wouldn't be no show without this gentleman. Wouldn't be no festival without this gentleman. So there's always a reason and a method behind
or holiday
madness.
party. Right.
No
holiday party.
No holiday party.
We coming fresh off our holiday party.
Might be
taking a plate.
Might be some content on social media. Y'all might check that out. But tap in with Knowledge Beckham, y'all. My favorite guy.
Appreciate you, Mindy. Appreciate you.
Feeling
Season
good?
Season 3. This has been I think this is our 30th episode. And man, we got a comedy legend in the building. So I'm excited to get into it.
I'm ready for the gas.
All gas.
All right.
Wow.
Sean Morgan, our favorite, our home. We call him a resident because he's 25 years in the game.
Facts.
He's the coldest. He's the flyest. He's the most honest. Intellectual. Agree to disagree. Tell it like it is. Have you driving home thinking about what he said. That's resident home, Sean Morgan.
Sean Morgan in the building.
Appreciate you, brother. Little bro.
Let's get ready because our guest today has paid his dues in the TV streets and the comedy streets. He is an actor. He's a writer. He's a comedian. He's a producer. Now let's talk about the stage. He's ripped the stages wide open from Def Comedy Jam to Comic View to First Amendment. Now let's go on to sitcoms. Pacific Blue, Nightman. Now let's move on to the movies. Losing Isaiah alongside Holly Berry. Mad Dog and Glory alongside Robert De Niro and Bill Murray.
Wow.
Mo Money. Wow. There Are No Children there alongside Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
So are we getting into it? Are we getting into it? Because we're talking about that work. He's from Chicago. He's comedy certified. He knows the stage grind. He knows the Hollywood grind. It's Evan Lionel.
Yeah, in the building.
Comedy legend in the building.
Back home.
Yes,
Back home.
Appreciate you pulling up, family.
He might have took the cake on the movie side. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I got some stories about the movie side.
I ain't even name. I feel like I'll be telling my age, but I feel like I saw you on Living Single.
I was on
at some point.
Yeah. I was on Living Single. I almost fell in love with Queen Latifah.
Okay.
We almost kicked it.
Okay.
Trust
Chicago
and believe.
shit. Huh?
Some Chicago shit. That's my girl. People wrong about her. She do love men. Trust and believe. Yeah, that's my girl. Ride or die.
First.
Facts.
It's going to be a great show, man. We're going to be talking about the game, get the real game, the OG game, honesty. And of course, always the grind behind the laugh. So first question, Columbia major or Columbia alumni graduate. Yes. Major was theater.
Yes, yeah.
So word on the street is you was double time. Theater major, comedy streets at night.
Yeah, going to school and doing theater. Like I would be at the Goodman Theater working, and that's the premier theater in Chicago. And I'd be working with like heavyweights, people like Rosalind Cash. If people don't know who she is, all you got to do is watch any 70s movie like Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again. She played Sidney Poitier's wife, and I actually got to know Sidney working at the Goodman. Roscoe Lee Brown. I don't know if y'all know who that is. If you saw A Different World.
Lil D.
Right.
Yeah, Different World. If you ever watched The Different World, he was one of the professors on there. He was on Good Times. Just a huge actor in the 70s. So I would be with them doing theater and leave the Goodman and go meet Bernie Mac at the Cotton Club and be out with him all night till like 7, 8 in the morning. So
man, just keep going.
And I was still in college.
Right. So it's like you were doing both, right? How did you decide? I mean, I guess your career is both, but how did you decide to go one way or the other? Like pursue comedy versus, acting, or did you just dive into both at the same time? You would have to tell the story better than I could. But if you're doing both at the same time, how did you decide the direction?
It's actually pretty easy. A lot of entertainers and knowledge, you know that from managing people, and Sean know that a lot of comedians have jobs. I never wanted to work a job for somebody. So acting was my bread and butter with the movies and television and all of that and theater. And comedy was my side job. And then comedy kind of, it would flip back and forth because I didn't want to be driving a bus, doing something outside of entertainment. Comedy kept me in entertainment, making money, you know what I'm saying? Because we got to eat, so... That was my side job that became a major side job. It's kind of like you got a side lady, and then she bouncing to the top position. Then she go back to the side. Comedy been my side, and then the main, and then the side again, like that.
And you made them both work for a very long time.
Yes, and they still working. Yeah.
Evan, what year did you first hit a comedy stage?
First hit a comedy stage, first time back in 88.
All right, so
Cheryl Underwood brought me on stage for the first time in comedy.
So walk us through the 80s, because obviously now Comedian Starts Today, you got 35 years of seeing Def Jam Comic View. But in 88, not so much, right? This is pre-Def Comedy Jam. This is pre-Black-owned comedy clubs. How do you even, as a young person, be like, and to remember back, like, I just want to do stand-up comedy. Yeah, you got Richard, but I don't know if you got, I don't know, in the 80s, did you see Richard on televisions or albums and shit? It's not like we got all the channels we got now. And so how do you even desire, you're damn near going into something that you don't even know what it can be outside of Eddie Murphy, raw and delirious, like, talk about 88, you getting on the stage. What was your idea then? Was it a career or just like, it's a good time, ladies out? Like, what was it?
Well, what it was, my mother, she had a bunch of Richard Pryor albums and a bunch of Red Fox albums. And I would literally sit and listen to those over and over again. And I grew up on the South Side. Like I'm shocked. I'm right across the street from the Dearborns where I was as a kid. And so when you grow up on the South Side, we was getting high at 12 and 13. We was smoking weed, drinking. Our drink was Old English, 800. That sort of stuff, that 8-ball. And so naturally, you listening to Rich, everybody think they can do jokes just like Rich. But me growing up in a dangerous environment, and it was extremely dangerous, laughter and comedy was an escape for me. Because honestly, as a child, one of my best friends, his name was Dondi Jenkins growing up. And that's he's important because I didn't know who his father was. And we'd be in the house hanging out, me and Dondi hanging out, going to the same school the whole nine. I see his father, and his father go, Mr. Jenkins. I see Mr. Jenkins. Hey, Mr. Jenkins, what's going on? Good to see you. And that's the world I grew up in. You feel what I'm saying? And so going, to CVS, I would catch the bus down here to shoot dice with people in Robert Taylor's, Stateway, just shoot dice, and then go to Cabrini shooting dice. I was 14, man.
Damn.
You can't tell me God ain't real because I'm still here.
Facts.
You feel me? I've been through a lot, but all of that was the makings of comedy. You feel me? Because my comedy is about real life. Anybody ever hear me, I'm talking about all real stuff. It's truth, based. And I know yours is truth based too. It's like it's real truth based. So my upbringing was horrific. And a lot of people don't know that because when they see me, they see the grace of God. And it was most difficult situation at CVS. I'm carrying guns and going to high school and all of that. Will shoot somebody if it came down to that. But the flip side of that was everybody waited to catch the bus with me so they could get on the 87th Street bus and not get robbed because I was doing comedy on the bus. And everybody that got on the bus was laughing so hard, nobody got robbed. You feel me? That's what I was doing at 12, 13, 14, and 15. And I was preventing. So more and more, it'd be a big crowd on the bus stop waiting on the bus that I get on. Because back then, they'll walk up right behind you and be like, don't even look. Don't turn and just go through your stuff and go down the line robbing everybody on the bus. And then rob the bus driver. Give me some of them transfers. The whole nine. But when I was on the bus, they listening to comedy. Everybody put their guns up. They listen to comedy. And that's how I got started in comedy right there.
Wow. So I know that also if you talk about Chicago, you talk about Chicago comedy, especially in the 90s, you're going to talk about All Jokes Aside.
Yeah.
And so did you ever play that club? What was your relationship with that club? Like such a staple for Chicago, but then just Black comedy in general. So love to hear how you tied into that.
So at a young age, I started in my teens, I was producing shows. I was making money in the streets and I put it into a comedy show. So I had a place called Spices that was real popular.
Heard about Spices, yep.
Real popular. And I hired Bernie Mac as a host.
Come on now.
Me and a guy by the name of Darnell Ross started Spices, signed a contract. Bernie was quitting comedy. Bernie was like, Holmes, I'm done. It's too hard. Bernie was working at Doc's Fishery. You go in there. Mac had the hairnet on, but he was still Bernie. He was still a character working at Doc's. He was driving a Wonder Bread truck, I remember. And that's what I told you. I didn't want to do none of that sort of stuff. So Mac said, this is getting too difficult to take care of his family. He wanted to take better care of Rhonda and Boots. So he was like, I'm going to have to walk away from this. I said, I'm starting a joint, Mac. I'm going to help you out. And don't worry about it. He was like, I can't do it, Holmes. I'm done. And then when he showed up to Spices and saw that line down the block, he was like, I got to get in on this, Holmes. You got to put me on, Holmes. I said, but you said you quit. You said you ain't doing this no more. No, Holmes, you got to put me on. So I couldn't put him on the first show, but then I brought him in as a brother and as a partner and had him hosting every show after that. And the wild part is, Bernie, any gig I would get, I would send him because he was a mature man and had a family, and I knew he was struggling, and I did everything to help him. I sent money to Bernie's house from Spices, even though Bernie was sick at times. He was sick, and then one day he got evicted and got arrested because he had firearms in the house that wasn't registered. So he got evicted. He called me from jail. He was like, look, they won't give me my medicine. And I didn't know what sarcoidosis was then. And you 19, 20, you don't know anything about that. But I knew he was dealing with a sickness. And so I would always send money, send gigs to Bernie, the whole nine. And then all jokes aside, Raymond came to town, Raymond Lambert.
So before this, give me a year. What year is this we talking about?
This had to be around 91, 91. Raymond Lambert came to Spices. He would be standing in the back watching everything that I do. He would come talk to me, the whole nine. I gave Ray all my mailing lists because he was a black man. starting business. And remember, I told y'all when I come home, I always want to support us and support Black business. So Raymond came, he hung out with me. He said, I'm gonna have a whole comedy club that's week, all through the week. Cause I had 2 nights. He was like, I'm getting ready to have a comedy club. I said, Black man, I'm gonna help you. I didn't even know Mary was his partner. I knew James was there, but I didn't know Mary was the partner because she just stayed in the office. Her and I didn't connect. And the first show, for all jokes aside, was me hosting. George Wilborn opened. Bernie Mac was the feature, and Rex Garvin was the headliner. And I think, honestly, the reason I was not the regular host was because, honestly, I ain't even gonna say the other homie's name because something ain't right about him. I ain't gonna say the other homie. But they got together and told Raymond, he in the streets and who he connected to. So you know the things that could go down if y'all don't pay him or y'all don't handle the business, that sort of stuff. And all I was thinking about was comedy and entertainment. I was not bringing the street life to the comedy game. The comedy game was how I got out of that life. You feel me? But they brought it there to make Ray scared, and he about to bring all that here. And so Ray went with George as the host.
Wow.
Yeah.
What got you into like as a young dude promoting comedy shows? I'm assuming at that time that ain't really shit people trying to do per se, right? Maybe parties, I'm gonna promote house scene, this and that. But what kind of, outside of the fact that you were a comedian, what drove you into the entrepreneurial side? And then behind that, like I think like Chicago right now in terms of the state of Chicago comedy, I think comedian being promoters can be good for the overall comedy scene, but I also think it can be bad. But kind of talk about your experience first in terms of why'd you even do that? Why'd you even figure versus just saying I'm gonna hit some stages?
It came natural for me as far as the comedy thing went. It came natural, and the producer side was a way to make money without having to be worried about getting arrested. You feel what I'm saying? Because that was constantly the concern on the other side. So constantly, watching out for that was a game that I could get into and not have to worry about being killed or being arrested or any of that. So I said, this is a way that we could flip this and make legitimate money. So, and it came natural. Like I was literally a kid, but we was grown men as kids. You feel me? I would go 13 years old and be sitting in a tavern, like a straight tavern. You understand me? That's different from a bar or a lounge or a nightclub. I would be in a tavern at 13. There's levels to this. I'd be ordering, give me a Jack and Coke. And one day the bartender, that's how deep I was in the streets and a kid. One day the bartender, I ordered the Jack and Coke. I'm sitting at the bar with I had a little attaché case with me, little briefcase. I had a trench coat on, the whole nine, trying to look grown. Bartender came to me. They had to know I was 13. He came to me one day. He said, your mom be coming in here. I said, who are you talking to? My mom. He was like, yeah, she'll be in here soon enough. This the time she come in. I was like, what? He said, Eugene's son, right? I was like, nah. He was like, all right. So I said, all right, I'm going to go on, get up. And I said, let me see. I left out. Then I walked back past the window like 10 minutes later. And I looked in, and that little light-skinned lady was sitting up in there. She was sitting at the bar, and she saw me look in the window, was like, come on in. And she was like, hey, y'all, this my child right here.
Blew your whole mother had already spent the bag in here. Right.
Sean, you jump in with this too, right? And both of y'all can talk about how being from Chicago, the toughness of it will prepare and shape you for LA. Sean, you first.
I mean, I gotta agree with him. Comedy comedy is definitely an escape, right? Because even if you couldn't fight, you tell a joke to keep from getting your ass whooped. Like, people just like the funny people, right?
Facts.
So a lot of people don't remember that era, right? But of course I remember it because of the type of neighborhood I was from as well. So gangbanging not gangbanging wasn't the choice, because when we was coming up, neutrons got it from both sides. Nigga, the Mo's going in one pocket, you leave there, the GD's going the other. So you had to pick niggas like, okay, which one of these motherfuckers I'm gonna be with? So I only got to fight half these niggas. So when you grow up kind of hard, you grow up, and it's a lot of shit that I don't even talk about coming up. And that's why, like, a lot of people don't even know that Sean Morgan, not even my name. That's like a stage name. People like him, people that know me, know other identities. You know what I'm saying? But comedy is always, I think, especially for people with our kind of trauma, to escape. You know what I mean? It's therapy. You could talk about shit. You can, we roast each other. Like, it's funny because it's niggas that'll body you and they be funny as hell. Like, I know some niggas that will knock your shit back, but if you not their enemy, they will have you rolling. You know, that nigga funny as hell, bro. But this nigga a whole murderer.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. So coming from that, and I made a conscious decision when I got to LA. I was still dibbling and dabbling in stupid shit, right?
Yeah.
And so I made a decision. It was a situation that happened that I won't speak on, but let's just say I shouldn't have survived, right? And so when I did survive it, I said, you know what? I'm going to take this comedy shit 100% serious, right? And I don't want, I'm not doing no extra shit. I'm going to do this. And that's agreeing with him again, that God works. So I became a comedian. My first show was on the picnic table with a karaoke machine in Mission Beach in San Diego. And it just so happened to be a nigga there that was friends with Rodney Perry and Gary Owen. He was in the Marines, we was in the Navy. You know what I'm saying? And that's how everything kind of took off. And then within a year, I met him, I met Kat, I met D. Militant, and I met all these different people. And so I started as a working comedian before I even did the open mic things and shit like that, because I made a conscious decision to not go back into a different type of life. And so I paid prices for that. You know what I mean? The shit like with the bald head situation and people like that. Of course, you're going to have enigmas because my loyalty had to be tested. So in situations I normally would have blew up in, or made phone calls, or been on some goofy shit, I had to stay on a certain line, right? Because that's how you get your blessing. But I understood that. So like you said, the streets prepare you, and different shit prepare you for different personalities, different way to deal with people. Because Hollywood got a lot of weird people that you really be wanting to punch in their fucking face sometimes. But you understand, like, this ain't the place for it. And I also understand you not even built the same way that I'm built. So there's no W's for fucking up a comedian. So I just have to eat your bullshit because this is where we are. And this is what we doing now. So growing up like that definitely plays a part into it. And that's why people with the biggest traumas tend to be the best comedians. Richard Pryor had to watch people fuck his mama. Bro, that's insane. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to think about my daddy fucking my mama. Let alone I'm watching random niggas come out her room.
Strangers.
Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So the more trauma, typically the kind of worse the upbringing. If you hear about the Bernies and you hear about people, we all kind of have these kind of, not, I won't say traumatic, but different kind of backgrounds that we compartmentalize a different thought process, because the other way it'd drove you crazy. We'd have been in the penitentiary or some shit.
But it is trauma though. It's trauma. Growing up in Chicago, a lot of people don't know. For me, was extremely traumatic. Like I was living in trauma constantly, and as an adult man, I realized that to this day. And what you said about Cali, when I first got to Cali, I was doing movies. I was on 2 television shows and was still in the streets. And Cali, when I got there, like you said, they talk a lot, they do this, that, and the other. I was in court a lot because from here, we grow up, you say the wrong thing, you get knocked out. So I was there doing everything that we do here, knocking niggas out. They in court, point me out. I go, but y'all gangsters. How y'all at court? Point me like the real stuff. Like, so Eddie Griffin pulled me to the side. A real one. Shout out to Ed. That's the homie right there. Ed and Freeze Love pulled me to the side. Because I was at the Comedy Store and somebody said something coming from the violence that it's like 300 growing up in Inglewood. The movie 300, we being trained to fight at 4. We fighting wars at 4. So I'm at the Comedy Store with the same mentality in Hollywood. I'm running people's face into the wall. And Eddie Griffin,
Chicago
Eddie was like, go over there and get that nigga and tell him to come here. So Freeze brought me over and Ed was like, you can't knock all these motherfuckers out. They bitches in Hollywood. They ain't men. It's too many bitches. You'll never get anywhere. Sit your ass down. And I sat at the table with Ed and the homies and Freeze Love. And from that point on, I realized that Hollywood is a different mentality. They're not like us. They're like the song, Kendrick Wright. They not like us. He right. They're not like us. These are some weird people. Like they weird. And now what's happening with Diddy is showing how weird these powerful people are, which I didn't grow up in that. So they wouldn't even try to pull me into. They never even tried me in Hollywood.
They want their head into the wall.
Right, but they do some weird, I've been invited to parties, I don't go, hey, let's be going up to the house. Nah, I'm good, because it's weird as fuck out there.
And shout out again to Freeze Love. I love that
that's
dude.
the homie right there.
If y'all not familiar with Freeze, he toured with Charlie for years, but he was the convict nigga in House Party 3 with Bernie and them. So his persona, and that's how he really is. He'd be like, "Hey, homie, what's up, homie? These bitch ass niggas out here, homie." Like that.
He a real one.
I love that. I love Freeze. That's my dude. I feel bad. I ain't talked to him in a while. You gonna maybe go call that nigga out there. Like, nigga, we missed you. Where you been, nigga?
Yeah, so I would be on stage and I would be saying, bitch nigga this, bitch nigga that. Cause that's where I came from. It's like it's either men or bitch niggas. And guess who was sitting in the audience? First of all, they was telling me, you can't be coming to Cali saying bitch nigga this, bitch nigga that, these niggas is bitches and those niggas is bitches. But while I'm saying it, Cat Williams is sitting in the audience studying me and my comedy.
Come on now.
And watching me talk. Now, I knew Cat's act. He knew mine. Cat was studying me. I looked at him. We was at the Lakewood Hop. I was like, why is he studying me so much? Now, I'm killing the audience with the whole bitch nigga routine. I'm killing the audience. And then Cat Special comes out. Where he's y'all are bitch niggas. I was like, okay. And that's just facts.
Right.
That's flat out facts. A lot of them studied me. A lot of them I have booked for shows, produced shows with them on. I'm talking about live shows. And a lot of them know me. But what it is I just don't know how to play the Hollywood game. I've always been a man. I ain't never been able to be a boy toy, none of this. I've never, that's why I was getting kicked out of school all the time, because I was challenging white authority. I was standing up to white men this, white men that, and you get to Hollywood, they turn black men into their toys. Like they real toys. So you thinking this guy, he wealthy, he got a huge bank account, he famous, he this, that, and the other. But you on the inside and you see that guy and he over there bending over. He over there, his manhood is gone, but he'll have a beautiful lady like you be his wife, but you know that you're what they call a beard. Because once they turn him out, you just enjoying the money and the fame. Y'all ain't even sleeping in the same room. It's some strange stuff going on that don't work for me.
But does that answer your question from earlier?
I was just about to say. So we into it. I told Sean like we haven't 30 episodes in. We haven't really dove into this Hollywood. You know, that's this fucking place that for outsiders or whatever, you guys have a certain vision in Hollywood, and I get it, right? I'm in a fraternity. I know to wear the letters that I wear, you're gonna go through some shit. There's a process we're gonna take you through, right? At the end of the day. And so to maybe, you know, Hollywood's Hollywood, but there's still, if you had a Mount Rushmore, there's some heads of people that really run Hollywood. And I would imagine to get through those doors, if they want to make a process or ritual for you to do it, it only makes sense. But I also then have maybe some issues with, because now if we watching movies, TV, everybody who we see, men, I'm talking about specifically, well, I guess women too, they all just getting fucking railroaded all day long to be on that TV. That just seems a bit far-fetched, because now we just maybe removing talent, this, that, like that's how they got on. What percentage would you put on, and I know it's hard, but you've been in that space and been out there for a long time, 25% of the motherfuckers, you know, it's some tricky shit going on, 50%, or no, nigga, if you get on TV, nigga, it's been some tricky shit going on. Like, where would you land?
So, like, where would you land in the tricky shit? The tricky shit, where you land? Evan Lionel, tricky shit. Where do you land?
Clear it up for us.
I would say, Knowledge, if I was to look at it realistically, it's about 75% of tricky shit going on. But you don't have to be involved in the tricky shit. They come for you when they see the signs that they can crack you. You know? They come, it's like Satan he sees what it is, and he go, oh, there's the weakness. I got her right there. So they're looking to see if you lacking in your manhood. They ain't just they ain't gonna look at you, Knowledge, and be like, oh, we gonna tell him to do the ritual and he doing it. No, they see something. And they go, oh, we got one. It's kind of just like when you about to get robbed by folks. It's like, oh, we got one. It's the same thing. They see something in you and they approach you with that. And if you go for it, then you in that crew. And it's a real secret society. Trust and believe, you don't really know who these people are until you in that room. And if you know them and who they are and you in that room, then you're one of them. They don't bring outsiders in. They check you, and then if you with it, they bring you in. But it's something about us from Chicago, Knowledge. We built differently. And I'm going to tell you how built differently we are. James Hanna. I don't know if y'all know James. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, yeah.
James Hanna was we all at the Comedy Store. Big, huge showcase. James Hanna's on stage. All of the people he working for, he calling them out, saying he gay.
Yeah, James a motherfucker.
He gay, and he telling stories about these dudes. And I looked at James when he came off. I was like, James, these are all the people you work for. How you go do all of that and then go get in line for a check? You about to get fired. Yeah. And James did. But I'm saying we're built differently.
Yeah.
Corey Holcomb, when he first came to Hollywood, true story, real shit. Folks know I talk about what's real. We all at a huge showcase again. James had already done his shit, Chicago dude, right? Corey comes to the same showcase few years later. Corey's on stage in front of everybody. Straight out of Chicago. All you niggas are So like everybody's in the room. From Will Smith to Keenan, everybody's there. All of you name it, Damon. Everybody's in the room, and Corey goes on stage, and that's how he opens his show. Chicago built differently. Oh, you niggas. And he look around the room. A lot of famous people here. There go Evan Lionel. You know why he ain't famous? Because he ain't. I was like, Corey wildin'. And you could, it was so uncomfortable in the room. And Corey, he loved being in an uncomfortable situation. It was so uncomfortable. But real niggas was laughing. All of the real ones, you hear us busting out laughing. But other people was like, if we could kill him, we would. So much so that one time I came out the comedy club and I see a crowd and they surrounded somebody. And I look down and say, let me go down there and see what's up. I see they done surrounded Corey. I bust up through the crowd and get back to back with him. That's a natural thing for us in Chicago. We see one another that's in those of us who are real men. So me and Corey get back to back. What's happening now?
Who is this surrounded? These are tricky motherfuckers.
Tricky motfuckers.
But they got lynchmen?
Yeah,
it's not.
No, they got
here. Like,
you gotta understand that it's a lot of niggas that hide in plain sight. It is people you have no idea, bro. A nigga rubbed Terry Crews' leg, nigga.
Yeah.
So they'll tell you what type of confidence or what kind of people they ain't scary. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people think that you can pick these niggas out, like, he this and he that. And it's really not. Like we was talking off camera earlier. My ex-wife had a flamingly gay best friend. And I only met him through her. Yeah. So real shit. So real I only met him through her, right? They've been friends 30 years. I just meet him in 2017. And I'll never forget, he said exactly the same thing to me that Flame Monroe said to me. If you knew the people that I fucked or who tried to fuck, they would kill me. Right? So two different gay niggas that don't know nothing about each other said exactly the same shit. So we would go out, right? And then when I moved back to LA in 2017, my wife would come out and he would come out, right? And I would see how these niggas would hug this nigga at the small of his back or give him the little ear kiss shit. And it's niggas that I thought, like, damn, nigga, you got bitches, bro. Like, what?
Yeah.
What is this? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you just never know, bro. And it was a lot of surprises. And then even having conversations with like my ex-wife and some of her friends, like niggas that was fucking these niggas, like these candid conversations, like because I'm her husband, they feel like, well, shit, he must be cool enough. So they was telling me all type of niggas that they fucking like, and intimate details like that you wouldn't know, you know what I'm saying, unless you was fucking these niggas. I'm like, damn, bro, that shit crazy. So that's when I came to the realization that I probably been peaked in my motherfucking career.
Because you don't want to be in the 75%.
Man, that shit, it's real. And like people don't want to accept that it's real because, and I get it. You look at TV, you see these niggas, you thought they was fly niggas. Like Billy D. Williams, prime example, nigga. For years, he was the quintessential cool, like no homo, handsome nigga. He was that nigga. So then you see this nigga talking about being pansexual. You be like, God damn, all this time I want to drink Coke 45 like you motherfucker. You just never know, bro. You never know.
So Evan, what does that leave you, brother? Someone who started comedy in 88. I'm in this space in 2025. 75% of this shit is tricky. I still want to do things in my career. I might want to do bigger things, etc. That seems to put a motherfucker in quite a quandary. Because where do I go? Because generally I would assume the bigger the project, the trickier it gets. And if I've decided that's not for me, What does that leave a veteran like you who's talented, who's done a ton of shit, but this is where you are in your space? Because if I knew there was something around the corner to get the podcast to 1 million views, nigga, I'd put it. Let's start talking real estate. You know what I'm saying? Let's start talking about the next thing we're gonna do, because I know what's there for me to take it to the next level.
Well, again, you have to be. This is a world now that you can be independent and make it big. I've been producing shows since 1990, live shows. I've booked everybody in the business for some of my shows, from Cat Williams to Bernie Mac to Adele Givens, Cheryl Underwood, Sherry Shepherd. You can go down the list on and on, Fluffy. You go down the list on and on, Joe Coy. I get money together and produce my own stuff so that I'm not subjected to those that are the trickiest out there that do that stuff. So I don't end up in the lockup for, you know what I'm saying? Harm. So people in Hollywood, all of them know me. They know that I'm a man, independent. They respect what I do, and they literally support me in that respect. But I can tell certain groups, when I come up, I'm an outsider. I'm an outsider, and when I come here, I'm an outsider. But I'm a respected outsider, respected comedian, respected producer, respected actor, any circle that I go into. And in acting, in theater, you see a lot of the tricky stuff, and it'll shock you. So to what Sean was saying, it be people that you think that that dude is a man and he bout that life, and his lady, I feel sorry for her. Once you see the truth, then I feel sorry for her, only because there's no way she can be happy in a situation where she's with a powerful man, but he's not who he's leading the public to believe that he is.
Yeah.
So the only way to navigate this situation, and it's a lot easier today than it was when I was, in my 20s. Today you have the internet. Everybody is a star now on the internet. I'll be looking at, I only got 3 likes and I put something out profound, and this woman just standing here shaking her ass and got 10 million, 10 million followers. Yeah. But it just shows, if you throw the right spaghetti against the wall and it goes viral. You start making money on YouTube. You start making money on social media. You got accounts, and now people are millionaires independently, whereas before social media, we had to become that in the streets.
Well, I mean, when I first went to LA, and we talked about it, but I talk about it on camera because a lot of people don't know this, right? When I moved to LA the first time in 99, 2000, something around that area. I want to say 2000. It had to have been 2000. When I heard, and this shit blew my mind, and that's why James Hanna coming up was funny, because he actually made jokes about this shit on BT and everything. When I first got there, they was like, it's like California, they say California sober, right? Mm-hmm. California sober means you don't drink, but you eat shrooms and weed and all that kind of shit. You still get high, but it can't be, you know what I'm saying? It has to be something organic and it don't count type shit. So they the same way with gay out there, right? So like if you are the top in their head, in that lifestyle shit out there, that shit's still considered straight. Like if you fuck men, but they don't fuck you, you're straight.
Yeah, I get it.
And then if he suck your dick, he gay. Because you just getting your dick sucked. You ain't did nothing. Your dick just outside. but to me, that was always weird. Because it's like if your dick can get hard next to goatee, it's something about this goatee that you like. My dick don't get hard around manly shit. You know what I'm saying? So like that was one of the first things I learned when I got out there. I was like, the fuck do you mean? That don't even make sense. But it makes sense to them. And that's how a lot of them keep the facade of straight because they've never been bottoms. Or they've never actually sucked a dick themselves. So they feel like, well, and I was saying to you earlier, and if you remember movies like crackhead movies and shit in LA and all that, it was niggas propositioning niggas with head for drugs. That wasn't because they wasn't doing it. That was because this is what the fuck was happening. Niggas would let a nigga suck their dick to get a bag or whatever the fuck. But here we wasn't on none of that. We'll fuck the shit out of club, but not a man one. do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's just an all around. And let me say
troubling. This is troubling.
Let me say this before we go there. I don't mean LA. I mean Hollywood.
Hollywood.
It is two different complete places.
Right.
LA and Hollywood they reside in the same space, but they're two completely different places. Nice. So I gotta say that I love LA. Hollywood is different. It's a weird place,
and that's a big problem with people thinking LA is Hollywood. It's not. The people in LA are real. It's real folks out there that love me. That's why I'm able to survive and thrive, because of all the real LA people that support me, like real folks. Hollywood, if you want to get into the clubs and do the things that they do on a high level, like both of y'all are beautiful women.
Thank you.
The moment y'all come in, they're judging y'all just based on your beauty, not what you're bringing to the table as far as what's up here. They're looking at y'all saying, yeah, I could do this with her, that with her. Let's see what she's willing to do to get what we're putting on the table. And one of the ladies, I saw her in an article, she said to get, I think it was the lady that did Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. She said to get where she had to get all of these dudes, she was like, every time I walked into an office, that's what they were on. And she had to decide who and what she was going to do with them to get there. It's just some crazy stuff. And then once you say, if I'm the producer, you go, all right, well, I'm going to go on party with him. Mm-hmm. Then what I do is I tell Knowledge, she party with me. Then Knowledge says to you, right.
She's for the streets.
Knowledge says to you, he says to you, so you gonna party with Evan and not party with me? We have parties over here too. Me and Sean like you to come to the party over here. Then you go to him and Sean's party, and then it goes so on and so on and so on. Now you're in, but that's what they mean when they say you sell your soul. You in, but your soul is gone.
That's why it's
gone.
That's why it's such a big drug problem place. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand. You go, LA could be soul crushing, right? Because you go there, you think, I got talent, I got looks, I got this, I got that. And then you get there and kind of see how this shit move a little bit. And it's a reason there's 70,000 homeless people in Skid Row. And it's a reason that it's so much drug addiction and shit. Like, could you imagine, bro, you a comedian and you go to LA and you straight, nothing ever crossed your mind. You just like, I see Kevin Hart, I'm gonna be Kevin Hart, I'm gonna be funny. And then you get in a room, and now because they can sense your weakness or whatever it is, and you do some weird shit, and a lot of them niggas do it, and they don't even get what the fuck these niggas then promised them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a lot of these motherfuckers, that's why suicide and drugs be high as fuck in LA, because they will play with you, especially if you come in and you overly enthusiastic. You in the bar, oh my God, is that Kevin Hart? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, is that Cat Williams? Oh my God, is that? They like, yep, going. And now they know they ain't got to give you shit because you just too happy to be in space with them.
So you have been through a lot, like a lot. Eras are changing over time. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about a moment where you realized that you might make it. The time you realize that you might not.
Well, make it is relative.
Yeah.
That's relative. So a lot of people think I made it if I'm Jamie Foxx status.
Or we see the movies that you've been in and the people that you've been around, right?
And so it's relative to what your goals and aspirations are. People get lost in Hollywood because they don't have goals and aspirations. So like what Sean was just saying, in order for me not to have had to deal with that knowledge, or you mentioned I'm a graduate of Columbia. So through all of that and all of my street shit and all the trauma that I went through, I still studied this. And like you said, it ain't you. People go to Hollywood. I've got this degree in acting. I've studied. I'm good. I'm beautiful. I'm talented. They can't deny me. I'm about to be the next one. And then you find out when they talk about selling their souls that you got to do all these things. It ain't about your talent, the gifts that God gave you. You find
they say
out
talent 10%. They'll tell you that,
right? But it's a fact, and so. That's not true when it comes to the individual, because my talents and my gifts and everything that God has given me is why I'm still sitting here and why I still produce. Despite all that, why I still do concerts in arenas and concerts everywhere. And people don't even be hearing about it. And I don't care, because I'm making a living, and a good living. And I praise God for it every day, because I could be I could be dead, because the truth be told, they told my mother, and I attribute my beautiful little mother to this. They said, your son is a gangster. He gonna be dead by the time he's 15. He's gonna be dead. So notice the gangster life starts when you a kid. And the movie I did with Oprah, that was all about that street life and bringing kids into the street life. There are no children here. I don't know if y'all seen it, but in my audition, Oprah and them stood up and clapped for me. And I thought they was playing, but they was like, he's a brilliant actor. But they didn't know I was just being myself.
Right.
And the movie was all about recruiting kids into the fold to do all these things, all this street stuff, because kids don't get sent to prison for life. We go to juvie. Right. They charge you underage. So in actuality, I thank God that I'm out of that, because I was being groomed to be a killer. That was what I was being groomed to do, hands down, and was with it. Was 100% with it.
Yeah, we had a couple of them in the neighborhood.
Yeah. And so that's how we were coming up. And my mother always praying. Grandmom always praying. And they was like, your son gonna be dead. They after your son. And my mom would say, he ain't gonna be no gangster, no killer. He ain't gonna be none of that. That boy gonna go to high school, graduate, and he gonna go to college and graduate. And she told that to my principal. And she was like, lady, move out my way. Boy, get your stuff and let's go. Because I was in that much trouble. I had knocked the principal out. It was just
menacing these streets.
It was ridiculous knowledge. It was ridiculous.
Let me ask you this.
Let me say this real quick. He is successful, and with people don't understand this about LA. And I want to say this because you've done it, and I feel like you deserve your props for it. Mm-hmm. LA is not easy. No. Right? LA, most niggas, even famous people that you see, these niggas be having roommates. It'd be 15 niggas rent bedrooms out there. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, not that's apartments. People rent bedrooms because that's all the fuck they can afford to be there. It's crazy to live there. So to be somebody that owns shit and lives by themselves is a testament by his motherfucking self in LA. It is, that's bro. Real. Like I'm being 100% serious. Like that's that shit is not easy. You got grown ass niggas, 49, 50 years old, still with 6, 7 roommates that's 49, 50 years old because they still aspiring to do stuff. So to be able to even be out there 25, 30 years straight, I always end up coming back. I could be out there for bursts. But I after a while, nigga, them savings get low. I be like, well, shit, look at the time.
I'll be the head on back
to the shop.
Get on back to these queens.
Head on back. This was nice, but
nigga,
he ain't
the
lying
food
because
ain't shit either.
I see him, then I don't see him no more. I be like, what the hell is Sean?
I'm the in and out of this LA nigga in the world. What?
So, Evan, we've had a number of conversations on here about because comedy is such a fraternity, right?
Is.
Like such a fraternity. And you talked about kind of being one of the early producer of shows and things like that, which for me, from the business side, that equates to putting money in pockets of a number of people that want money for their craft, right? Or doing what they do. Do you feel as if, I'd love to hear about anybody as you've kind of progressed, maybe they've gone on, right? And made it, got looks, went to Hollywood. Anybody that you could specifically call out that looked out, maybe put you in a better position, what have you, on the strength of we kind of came up together, I got on, I'm reaching back. And if that hasn't happened as much, what do you think that's about? Because we've talked about probably more times where it doesn't happen than it happening.
Well, that's a good question, Knowledge. First, let me say this. One of my biggest hurts in the industry is when Bernie Mac died. And it's a big hurt because Bernie Mac died without me and him ever getting to talk and me getting understanding, because I felt like he turned his back on me and so many of us here. Me, Bernie, and Godfrey would be sitting up till 8 in the morning after we leave the Cotton Club. We would go to the White whatever on Roosevelt. Yeah, White Palace. And we'd be sitting in there till 8 in the morning. And Bernie would go, who gonna pass the torch? Whoever get there first, who gonna pass the torch? You pass the torch. Godfrey, you and Lonnie, you pass the torch, whoever. And Godfrey thought, Bernie thought I was gonna get there first because I was really hot in the streets, really hot in the industry. Everybody's talking about me. And then Bernie hit first. And this is how, from my vision of it, I see Bernie was struggling. We taking up collections, we giving Bernie gigs, we doing this, that, and the other. Then he taped Def Jam, the first Def Jam. It was okay. He's still coming and working, for me, working with me. We passing gigs to each other. Kenny Howell was around. We are working together, but at that time I'm the king, so I'm handling the business. Then Bernie does the second Def Jam. Bernie was, when he did the first Def Jam, he was riding in a white Escort, Ford Escort, right? That was his car. Then after the first Def Jam, he's still in the Escort, but then the second Def Jam, he pulls up in a brand new Acura. Not spanking brand new, but new to all of us and new to him. And he said, Holmes is about to hit. When it's hit, y'all gonna see what it is. And then when Kick It hit, Kick It, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Right. Bernie went from struggling to making 25, 30,000 a show. So from 50 and 500 a show to them arguing about paying him 25 and 30,000 a show and him being super popular. And then we didn't hear from Bernie no more. And when I saw Mac, I said, Mac, what's going on, man? I can't get no road work with you. No, this Holmes, I got Ali Leroy on the road with me, this, that, and the other. I can't bring you in. Then the Bernie Mac show. I'm like, Mac, come on, you got friends on there. So I'm just telling y'all the true shit. Doug Williams is on the show. I tell Doug Williams, I say, Doug, tell Bernie that how come he ain't called me? He won't talk, what's up? Doug went to the show, told Bernie, I talked to Evan Lionel, and y'all call him Lonnie. How come he hasn't done the show? And he said, Bernie told him, don't worry about that right now. Focus on what you doing here. Your ass won't be here no more. You feel what I'm saying? Literally. And I heard he didn't want any Chicago comedians on the show at all. So how our upbringing was, when I look at the Bernie Mac show, he had Doug, who's like me. He had Bruh Man, who was Godfrey. And he had somebody else. I can't remember who else he had. But those were supposed to be us. We thinking that's going to be us because it's Bernie. But Bernie stopped talking to us, let Carolyn go, who was his manager for 25 years working to get him there, and kind of just locked us out. And we never got to talk because he passed. But as far as those who have brought me in, it ain't been a lot. It's just been from Chicago, Dion Cole. God bless my little bro, Dion Cole, always calling me for stuff. Big bro, we getting ready to do this joint over here. You coming? We doing a Hard Rock Casino, big bro. Let's go. And putting me on and throwing money my way, that is a blessing because things get tight. Godfrey, I show up in town and he's at that level now. The little bro, Godfrey would be like, what you doing, big bro? And me and him get super silly, and then he'll call me and I make money with him. But that's just two out of everybody. Now, me and Sherry tight. She from, but I haven't been on Sherry's show. Sherry, we talked. Sherry actually, shout out to B. Cole, because B is another one, but B's still here. Yeah. Little bro's still here. And so I helped him. That's why when B calls me for something, I helped him produce the footage for all of the people that came and gave thank yous to Reggie and Carl, Brahman and Cole for people that's out in the audience. And I booked them for shows in LA. Shows that I produce, but it's only two, those people that I named, B and D-Ray too. D-Ray too. Definitely can't leave D-Ray out. D-Ray has definitely called me in for stuff, but just those guys.
Mash, as a long-term Hollywooder, is, damn, I hate to say that after all we talked about Hollywood, but
here we go. We're going back. We're going back to
navigating through the tricky shit.
Exactly. It's been in LA. Is there a, because I'm sure you know a lot of inside stuff. I heard a great story that you told about Martin and the Chris Rock show or something like that on another pod that was super dope. But are there cities that do it? Maybe it's something in the water here that maybe we just don't do it as well as we could. Is there a city... Like, obviously, if you look at NBA, you'd be like, man, Bron did it the right way, right? With Rich and Maverick. And is there a city that maybe does it better? New York? I mean, obviously, on the white side, more Adam Sandler, this and that. But on the is it on the black side of there, is there a city that's maybe done it better in terms of, I'm gone, come on, like, done
New
it
York.
better than
New York.
Talk about some of those crews and people that we may not know in terms of who are connected, maybe came up together, that sort of thing.
Well, New York, I know they stick together so tough that Hollywood, a lot of people think you make a lot of money in Hollywood. You do in movies, television, and film. But in stand-up, in actual Hollywood, they giving people $7.50 for a show, $15 for a show, $30 for a show. And checks. $30 for a show. So it's like Sean said, they roommating and 5 roommates in a house because this is what they're paying in Hollywood. This little money. So when you have people that bring you in and help you to eat on the road, it helps you to survive in Hollywood. That is something we all need. New York does that. New York be like, hey, yo, son, where is Bond? We all over here, son. And then next thing you know, you see talent, you see Capone, you see this guy, that guy. And Godfrey's out in New York. They all be together. And they all, yo, son, when we got a gig over here. So you doing 5 shows a night. When I go to New York, they be like, yo, son, Chicago in town, son. We about to go, son, we here. We gonna do Bed-Stuy. We going to Staten Island. Now we going to the Bronx. Now we going to, Brooklyn, son. They all passing the work around and sharing in the wealth.
Let me just one quick interjection. Rest in peace to Ray DeJean.
Ray DeJean, yeah.
That man was amazing. Like, if you, as a comedian, you go to New York, Ray DeJean had 52 rooms, nigga. That nigga kept everybody working, and he was one of the most solid comedians and helpful comedians, and we lost him this year. The day before his birthday, which was crazy. Yeah. Like, he was playing at a birthday roast and died the day before, which is crazy. But shout out to him, because I don't hear his name brought up enough, and he was definitely a big staple in New York comedy scene, and he was.
And so let me say this on Ray DeJean. Ray would, when I get to town, it's Kings that I would hit up. Ray was one of them. I hit Ray up. I hit Talent up. I hit Capone up. I would hit Drew Frazier up. And hit up Rob Stapleton, hit up even Will Sullivan. I never really worked with AG, but Will Sullivan, hit him up. And what I'm saying is, these guys put everybody to work. I've never understood why it's only a select few of us in Chicago that literally put everybody to work. Me, Damon, B. Cole, you know what I'm saying? We should be together like New York, because we would rise so much quicker. And the things that you do, Knowledge, it needs to be more like you, but it's just you from, you know what I'm saying?
I get it.
It's just you. Imagine if there were more of us that was in these king positions, and we all sat down as kings and came together, the wealth we could build. You feel me? Then we wouldn't have to go to others for work, because the work is right here. Right. We're producing it.
I learned this valuable lesson. So I don't know if he was around yet. So at the height of Sean, whatever, right? We was talking about a comedy union. Me.
Sean, just Sean.
Okay. That.
Okay.
I needed
so we everybody was talking about unionizing, right?
Yeah.
And so I had came up with a union. This is a true story. So what I did was, at that time, Anthony Mason was one of my best friends. I had a ton of friends that played for the Bears and the Bulls and all these different people that I was around. So I was like, nigga, this is what we can do. We can do like comedy shows in each other people hometown type shit. You know what I'm saying? So you get a Tank Johnson, and you got these different people. Like, I still talk to, shout out Tommy Harris. I still talk to him all the time. So I had all these NFL, NBA players, and I was like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to pay this. We're going to do that. We're going to unionize so we could kind of block out how the comedy clubs was doing us. And do you know why this shit fell apart?
I remember you told me, but I forgot.
Take a guess why it fell apart. They wanted me to pay their taxes. So we got documented income. And when I was taking the taxes out for the shows, they didn't want to do the shows no more. They felt like I should have paid the taxes. I said, I'm not paying your motherfucking taxes. So you want me to pay each individual that I'm booking and y'all taxes? And y'all making more money with me, because we was paying on average like $1,500 for everybody. I mean, that's the lowest nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it all fell apart because motherfuckers ain't want to pay their taxes.
Here's the crazy part. He said they were starting a union. This show you how time progresses. Me, Bernie, Cheryl Underwood, Andre Lavelle, and a comedian by the name of Dose. We all would get together we was gonna start a union for comedians so that we could be paid properly. But in all the work we did, you cannot start a union. There's no comedy union because comedians are too individualized and too selfish. That's why we can't. We was literally putting together a union, and me and Cheryl Underwood continued in LA with the radicalness, because we spearheaded a strike against BET and ran them out of LA because they was paying comedians to take Comic View $150.
Right.
And we was like, people thinking you getting rich off TV and you just making $150 to tape a television show. So comedians from all across the country would fly themselves in, have to put themselves up just to get on television and make $150.
I was on the first year that they gave union scale.
And you should have been thanking me.
Yeah.
Cheryl Underwood.
Yeah. I was literally on the first year that they paid scale.
Right.
But still you had to sign off your residual rights though.
Right. But that was something that we did together trying to be a union. And Cheryl Underwood was our leader. Believe it or not, Cheryl is smart as fuck. Don't get it twisted. Cheryl is smart. She's smart, and I was the sergeant at arms. Kim Whitley was working with us, Buddy Lewis, and we ran Robert Johnson and Comic View out of LA. They went to Atlanta, and believe it or not, that opened the door because Georgia is a non-union state. So it opened the door for others to get on Comic View, like Corey, D-Ray, this person, that person, to do the show in Atlanta. But the show couldn't survive because Atlanta didn't have the same pool of talent that LA has. So they had to bring it back to LA. So I knew for sure they ain't gonna put me back on Comic View because I spearheaded a strike against them. I was one of the first people they called. And then I was back a Comic View star again. And so what I'm saying is to all of y'all who think if I stand up for myself, I'm not gonna work with this production again. That's not true. Because I worked with Comic View to the very end, even after the strike.
So I'm gonna put this out here since we're on camera, because I've talked to Rail about this before. I feel like we're in a space, but it could be a missed opportunity, right? So like when you think about the tours right now on the comedy side, you have the big ones, We Them Ones, et cetera. And I get why you put those together, right? Dude got 3 million followers, this, that, et cetera. But I feel like it's a really missed opportunity for the city if we don't figure out not the name, but a Kings of Chicago comedy tour, right? Kings or Queens. We have so much, right? If we put all of y'all in a circle, it's a crazy tour. In fact, we from Chicago, that's just what it is. But that's going everywhere, right? You, Corey, D-Ray, Rail, fucking Godfrey, like it doesn't stop. Yeah. Like we got starters and we got a hell of a bench that we can just pick and pull people.
Mojo too.
Mojo too, right? If you want the young shit going on, Tierra, like you got a lot of. I didn't really get involved into 06. That's when I really got involved in comedy, started working with Rail. So although I met the D-Ray, the Dion's, I don't have the relationships that you do. And they're all at places, right? So there's a lot of ego, what have you, but these big shows create, like I remember I was gonna do an Airy Crown show at one time, and when you think of the 4,200 seats and the ticket prices, like these joints generate $350,000, $375,000. Like people can get big checks bust down for doing that. And that works around the whole country because it's funny. And as long as you put the marketing and the merch or whatever, like it's there. But, I've talked to Rail about it, and I know he's had conversations with the Chicago crew, but the right people have to be involved because you got to bring certain people to the table. And we should look at that. We should really talk offline about how to do it, maybe at this scale, if we can only get so many, but, nobody likes to be left out, right? I've learned that with the festival, like there's certain people. And when I saw you first year, I'm like, damn, and you kind of like my city, bro. Like, how am I not, tied in? But you were before my time. Right now we're tied in. And so now we can tie you in. So I think there's an opportunity there for us to do something. And Sean always talks about kind of real comedy and what's being put out there. I just know that we can start at home, and that we probably, I don't see how we don't do 4 shows at Airy Crown. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because that's 16,000 people.
D-Ray does a New Year's Eve there every year.
He does.
You looked at the numbers. You said the numbers are huge. Why is he the only one?
But that's still not a Chicago.
No, he's bringing outside.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I think the only person
I
seen him do
70
here
cities. Because the funny is the funny. And then you have, they may not know Evan, but you got the background, and that's part of what I'm here for, is that we can do things like that. So they be like, oh, damn, I was asleep. Homie's official, but then you have the draws as well, the Deions and so on. So
Well, let me say this, and this is gonna get me in trouble.
Sean.
time 282. Go ahead.
He didn't announce that I'm about to get in trouble.
The reason that shit is hard, bro, is ego, right? And not just ego, but this is how easy it is to help people. And I've had people deny me this. So I know that this is what it is. Social media, if you got a friend that got 1 million followers, posting you costs him nothing. But they won't do it. It's literally nothing. It can't hurt them. It can't do anything but help you. And they won't do it. And I've talked to multiple people about that. Right? Like, bro, do you not understand that? Because this is what I hate. And they do this shit to you too. Yeah. I hate when people sing my fucking praises in silence. Now, when it's people that matter, you don't got shit to say.
Out loud.
But we at goddamn What's Funny Comedy Festival, Sean Morgan is the bee's knees. But when I say, hey, why don't you get on this here video and say the bee's knees, let me collaborate on this video with you, you won't fucking do it. And it costs you nothing. So when people say that, oh, I try to help people and I try to do that, that's why I be looking at these niggas like, you capping. Because you can do this shit for nothing. You literally could do it for nothing. What does it take for a motherfucking Lil Ray or D-Ray, Deion Cole, to just post a 30-second clip of Evan Lionel, 30-second clip of Sean Morgan? You fuck with us. You let us do the improv. You tell us we're great. Why no promotion? And then we get behind this fake-ass narrative that it's white people doing this shit when you're not even helping when you can. You're not doing this shit now. You're not posting videos of other people. I see you post funny videos that's already viral. But you're not doing shit. You're not posting nobody that you know, bro. You saying it's the white people.
Sean,
fuck out of here with that
Sean,
shit,
let me, but real quick, can I just say this? Real quick, there are those that do. Like Godfrey was on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay. That's a huge platform. And at the beginning of his whole get down, Godfrey was like, y'all need to know Evan Lionel. He's the one that brought Bernie Mac back to comedy. He's the one that actually kept him in comedy so that he could get famous, so that y'all could know him. Godfrey did say that on Club Shay Shay, talking to Shannon Sharp, so it's easy to go. So, and then my phone blew up. So to what Sean is saying, then my phone blew up because on this huge platform, Godfrey used his time to get a big bro some love. Y'all really need to know who Evan Lionel is. And so shout out to Godfrey. So there are those who do that. And Deion does that. Deion was like, I want to say happy birthday to a king. And this king is on tour with me if y'all want to see him. And then on tour, I was shocked because people would be like, we heard it's a dude on tour with Deion that's super funny. We don't know who he is. I'm like, I've been doing comedy 35 years. But people, even Muhammad called me. He was like, they said it was somebody on tour with Deion. Now I know it's you, big bro. I was like, yeah, it's me. What the hell? But it's like, as I was before social media hit. I was famous before social media. And so, to be honest, I can't blame nobody else. I'm lazy because I already had an audience. And now I'm looking at the real money that these artists is making. And I'm like, I got to get my social media game up.
I want to keep you on this point. Can I ask you, can we stay after with you for a little bit of behind the scenes?
Sure.
All right.
Most definitely.
I appreciate y'all so much. Appreciate these stories. It was like we could have just kept quiet and let him just walk us all the way through. Sean, as always, knowledge, great questions.
Thank you.
We are super grateful for a successful season. We hope that y'all stay locked and loaded with us for season 4. I think it's time real quick to shout out our top viewer.
Oh.
Real quick.
Okay.
Top viewer, in my opinion, goes to Mr. Eddie Coleman. First to watch an episode, always watch the premiere. So we want to do more of that in season 4. Shout y'all out for viewing and tapping in and watching, because we can't do nothing.
Way to go,
without
Ed.
you all.
Shout out,
So
shout out Eddie
so
Coleman.
what's
He's
up
always
to you,
My
commenting.
Eddie Coleman?
motherfucker.
That's what's up.
There we go.
That's what's up.
Thank you, Ed.
All right, y'all. The IG page is What's Funny Today Show. The YouTube is What's Funny Comedy, as well as our main Instagram page is also What's Funny Comedy. So stay locked and loaded. We will see y'all for season 4. Peace.
Peace.